People might suggest that the problems simply keep on piling up for Harry and Meghan, the former royals known as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Fresh, of course, from being booed at that recent awards ceremony, you would have thought that they may have sat back and thought exactly, where do we go from here? But as I've told you before, Meghan is nothing except pushy, straightforward, and doesn't necessarily believe that all the problems that are surmounted, of course, around her and Harry are anything to do with her other than bad press, wrong timing, that sort of stuff. If you recall, when she was trying to launch certain things, particularly around the time of our sad and tragic loss of Queen Elizabeth II, apparently she just felt, well, that sort of was bad timing. A lot of the things that they wanted to do, bad timing around the pandemic, when they were trying to launch their new deals. You get the picture. But moving forward now, it looks like Harry and Meghan, well, have got certain advisors around them that are trying their very best to put them forward. But the bigger problem now is, can they force them to do this? As ever, let me explain. Good to see you, you're right. Yes, not bad. Now listen, can I just ask you this, because this is another thing that's irritating me now, and I've only noticed this, and I'm sure you're all intelligent who watch this show. Are you like me? I got some cereal the other day, and have you noticed at the back of the cereal now, loaded with messages, saving the planet, emissions, all of that sort of stuff, net zero. You think, I thought I'd bought bran flakes here, not a political message. You know what I mean, though? And you're sitting there looking at the box thinking, when I was a kid, you just wanted the toy. It was brightly sort of coloured, wasn't it? And, nice cartoony sort of pictures. Now, loads of messages on, telling you how much salt there's in there, how much sugar, what calories you should be having every day. Oh, sling your oak. Are you with me on that? Can't you just leave it alone for 5 minutes? And it did make me laugh over here, by the way, in London, well, in the United Kingdom. They're now apparently going to be getting our doctors to talk to us about net zero and green emissions. I thought, well, that'll be fun. Let's try and get an appointment with a doctor first. Never mind chatting away about things that don't concern you. You know what I'm saying? Back as ever, though, to your old story of the day. Sorry, you get a bit ranty, don't you? You get so angry sometimes. 5 Emmy nominations, that's right. The Beckham's docuseries on Netflix received. Not bad, eh? And as we told you, the bigger problem now for Harry and Meghan is this was a sort of celebration that they would have liked for themselves, as you can imagine. You see, 5 Emmys is brilliant when you think, and of course it really resonated with the worldwide audience, not just because David Beckham is a brilliant ex-football player who's very well liked, in fact, around the world. I think he's done a lot of good, and of course he's very carefully managed by none other than Simon Fuller, who also manages Andy Murray, the tennis player. You see how all of these things are interconnected now? When you thought, why is David Beckham at the tennis? You get it, right? Now, what's interesting here is that Meghan and Harry's team, and many people are saying, oh, they're furious, they're this. Well, their team, and as ever we have to say allegedly, are suggesting this idea to them, which I think is a brilliant idea. What they should do is actually make a congratulatory small video for social media, wishing them well, knocking people off kilter. This was the big discussion on Wednesday evening, let me tell you. And what was fascinating about this was at first, as one can imagine, Meghan Markle wasn't keen on the idea, taking the spotlight off her, moving it away, maybe shining it on somebody else, don't be ridiculous, all about Meghan. Harry was more receptive, and as we're recording this, it's still an ongoing chat. Will they or won't they? Now, this could do a lot to repair their very much damaged image, to say we're the bigger people, we might have fallen out, but we're actually, all showbiz chums in the end. Right now, it all hankers and hangs on the balance of whether Meghan can be persuaded to take something of a fun, slight side, very similar to what she wanted to do with the 40 times 40, which ended up with Harry, of course, juggling some kind of limes outside the window. You see the sort of thing they're looking for. And apparently that went down well. Neil Sean, Hyde Park, London.